okay? Listen carefully, we don't have much time. The flux is coming. It's bringing with it the Sontarans, weeping angels, creatures known as the Ravagers, and enemies from across the universe. This is the fight of our lives.
Doctor, we need you!
I can't hold it much longer, Doctor. It's coming.
Hi guys, it's your man, just Phoebe, and welcome back to another Doctor video. If you've never seen my face on your screens before, please click that big red subscribe button down below, and also click notifications bell to get notifications every single time I upload. So today I am reviewing the Dalek Invasion of Earth. This is story number 10 from season 2, and it was written by Terry Nation. I have the little Doctor Who page here with the story and the description and the air dates and stuff like that, because I use this as my main form of information for all these reviews now, because it's so much easier than going on the transcripts, which I actually do have on this side of my iPad. I actually do have the transcripts here, but my mum will just come in to put some flowers in, so that's okay for the time being. Sure, she's over there in the background. So yeah, this story aired from the 21st of November until the 26th of December 1964. So pretty much through the entire Christmas period this aired. Arriving in a deserted London in the middle of the 21st century, the Doctor, Ian, Barbara and Susan discover that the Daleks have invaded Earth. Will the human race be enslaved by the evil Daleks, or can the Doctor stop their incursion plans and save mankind from extermination? This was the second appearance of the Daleks, so this is obviously the second appearance of the Daleks, and so on. I've got the notes here on my phone, so I'll just grab them, because I write notes after I've watched each episode. So this is also a very important serial as well, story, because this is Susan's last story. I'll get on to that. So the episodes are called World's End, The Daleks, Day of Reckoning, End of Tomorrow, The Walking Ally, and Flashpoint. So this is a 6-part story, if you like. This is a 6-part, 2 parts spread out through November, and the rest, and 4 of them spread out through December. So this was a very interesting story. So yeah, I really liked this story because it was the second appearance of the Daleks, and can I just point out, this is the Doctor's own fault, because the Daleks weren't aware on Skaro that there was any intelligent life outside the rest of the universe. So the Daleks invading Earth is definitely the Doctor's fault and not his top moment. So yeah, also the Doctor's fault. But this also mirrors the Stolen Earth on Journey's End, because as you know, the 10th Doctor said someone tried to move the Earth once before, because the Daleks in this particular story were trying to drill a hole in the centre of our Earth, and then they could steer it from across the universe from the majority of the story. I liked also the fact that they split up the Doctor's companions so much. So they split Barbara and Susan were together for a time. Ian and the Doctor were together, so they did that. And then they took it another step further. They put Ian with David. They put Susan with David. They put Barbara with Jenny, and they put Ian with Lenny. So all the Doctor's companions in this story had stuff to do. They were all separated from the Doctor. The Doctor reunited with Susan and David, obviously. But it was really nice to see that they'd split up all of them. So all of them were with their own people. So Susan was with David, Ian was with Lenny, and Barbara was with Jenny. So I thought it was very, very good. Also, what I liked about this is Barbara was in a truck with Jenny and they just drove through a bunch of Daleks. I thought that was totally incredibly badass. That would definitely go into my top 10 of badass Doctor Who moments, which I'll do a video on at some point. But yeah, I just loved how Barbara steered through the Daleks. That was also very good. Also, all the Dalek stories in the black and white stories were written by Terry Nation, because he was the original founder of the Daleks, the one who came up with the original design. The BBC owned design, so, you know, but he was the one who actually came up with the whole Dalek thing. I also loved seeing the Daleks running wild in just the UK. And Stolen Earth and Journey's End, the Daleks are pretty much everywhere. But this was just kind of UK based, so very, very good. I liked the good use of sets. The sets were very well used in this story. I loved the mine. I loved how it wasn't just in one set, it was in different sets. That was very, very well done. I also love the discs on the back of the Daleks. Now I'll show you, because I've got some Daleks over here on my little thing, which I should have got before. But here you go. So these were the Daleks in the invasion of Earth. They've got little discs on the back of them, and the Doctor said something on the lines of, the reason why the Daleks had these discs on the back of them was so they could cope in the Earth's atmosphere with the gravitational pull, etc, etc. So that's what it was. I also loved the original rim of the Daleks. That was because the operators were quite tall. The original Dalek operators were quite tall, so they had to make these bumpy bits quite chunky to start with, so that so you couldn't see the operators' feet, you know, their feet moving around. Obviously now that's not how the Daleks do it. Obviously now that's not how the BBC do it. They have short operators to operate them now, so, and they have a base actually on the bottom, so you can't see the feet at all. But yeah, I loved how these original guns, they didn't do the laser shooting they do nowadays. They did the whole claw shooting thing, and I mean, you can see the claw go in and out, but they still killed tons of people. But yeah, I loved the idea. I also, for the first time as well, you get to see inside a Dalek ship. For the very first time, you get to see inside a Dalek ship. It is absolutely fantastic. The only thing I would say about this particular story is the visual effects are very dodgy. The Dalek saucer flying above doesn't look at all realistic. It literally looks like it's been cobbled together by some people on the production team, and they've just done like a shoddy look. But I understand, obviously now with modern technology and everything on Doctor Who, the Dalek ships look absolutely fantastic, very realistic, because they're all done with CGI now. But back then when Doctor Who was just starting out, they had a very low budget, so they had to do the best they could with the visual effects money, which I think that's why the Dalek ships look so kind of dodgy, because they didn't have time to do the visual effects, so they just cobbled together what they could. Which is understandable, which is why I don't criticise. But yeah, so I loved the idea of, obviously these are what they originally looked like. In the black and white, obviously they look black and white, but these were the original, this is what they originally looked like, because I've seen some old pictures of what they look like from the BBC putting these in colour now. So yeah, this serial was also very good because Susan's relationship with David builds in this episode, and she definitely has that sense of, she obviously tells him that she wants to stay somewhere. She wants to stay somewhere that has meaning, rather than just constantly running away from all of the problems possible, that kind of thing. So that makes a lot of sense, because Susan starts to fall for David more and more as the story goes on. It's a bit of a, to be honest, the only criticism I will say about this particular story is the love story was a little bit rushed. It was a little bit rushed at the end, I think. It was a tad bit rushed in part 5. You see them kissing. It was a very rushed kind of love story, which is okay for classic Doctor Who, but it was very, very rushed and very cobbled together towards the end. This was also the very first time a companion would say goodbye to the Doctor. Susan obviously would be the first to go. So that's why this is also a very important story, because this story is the first story you see a companion goodbye. And before you guys ask, the Doctor left Susan because he thought it would be better for her to stay in one place. He was protecting her and he was caring for her, and he didn't want Susan to run anymore. He wanted Susan to make a life for herself, stay in one place, do her education, become a woman, marry David, that kind of thing, which she does. But yeah, I loved how the Doctor said this. This is what he says. One day I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Just go forward in your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine. That's the last words the Doctor says to Susan. And after that, you know what else happens? At the end of the story, it doesn't cut to the TARDIS console room. It cuts with Susan and David walking. From where the TARDIS was, they walk. And I think that's lovely. It's fitting, that ending, because it shows that this is the first companion goodbye ever to happen in Doctor Who. Obviously after that in Doctor Who it would become like a regular thing. But this is the very first companion goodbye, and yeah. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please click that previous subscribe button down below. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers by the end of next year, so if you could click. And also if Nerd Den sent you, then hello and welcome to my channel. So yeah, I do these reviews every week now. The next review I'm doing is The Rescue. And so yeah, and I am really looking forward to doing this, so I will see you guys next week for another Doctor Who video. Bye now. To Phoebe here. I completely forgot to rate the story, so the rating is a 9 out of 10. Sorry.